Right, welcome back to the show. Stephen Howson, Ashley Williams. We got a name.
You want me to give it?
Go on, unveil it.
Ste Ash talking trash. Very original. Ste Ash. I think we've done ourselves a disservice by calling it that.
Bit Ron Seal, innit?
Yeah, but it is what it is. We had to name it. So
people don't know how to find it, and people actually want to find it. So we've been forced to name it. I thought keeping it running for like 10 years with no name would have been brilliant.
I was fine with it as well.
I was all right with it, but people actually want to listen to it, and to listen to it, they need to find it. So to find it, needs a name.
And the powers that be said name it today. So we've gone for Ste and Ash talking trash. That's how to find it.
So search that. Speaking of trash.
Right, I'm gonna get. Can I just get straight in? Can I just get straight into our chat for last night a little bit? I said to you, topics for tomorrow. We was discussing that, and you said I can have a 17-minute rant. So we run for about an hour. Stu goes, I can do 17 minutes on a certain topic, which I don't doubt.
I don't think people want it, but I could do it.
There's a lot to talk about. I think we actually have some stuff to talk about.
We do have some stuff to talk about.
Footy-wise, first.
Yeah. Should we? Right.
Because there's some mad topics out there. Obvious ones. Your mate, GS, and Harry.
Oh, yeah. So
let's go straight in with that.
I think.
And clean that up from our point of view.
In the early days of the show, we anointed Gareth Southgate as a ready, salted, crisp eating, fizzy bottled water, having plain ham, meal deal, fucking weirdo, bore, right? He's a bore, isn't he?
I didn't think we called him a weirdo, but anyway.
I don't know, maybe I'll leave the weirdo out of it, because he's not weird. Because being weird would be interesting, wouldn't it? The fact he's not weird, he's boring, he's so straight down the line, isn't he?
But he's confusing me this week, because
But he's never even had a parking ticket. He's always got like a little bag of change in his car.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's clapping back at people.
But he's wrong.
And I don't understand it. I don't understand what he's saying.
It's contradictory.
That's what I don't understand the point. So the obvious thing is I'm going to play my guy, which is cool. We'll get onto that, I'm sure. But I'm taking Foden because Foden don't play in the middle at City. I'm not going to play him in the middle.
So the contradictory part is, so people say, why don't you try Foden down the middle? Like,
well, we was talking in the game, the Ukraine one, like, what the fuck? Well, you're going, there's so much possession. You've got Rice, who's just mopping up the world, and then you've got fucking Jordan Henderson next to him, who's also trying to mop up, and Foden's twiddling his thumbs. And you need to create something. It doesn't take, like, someone that's done the pro license to see, maybe take off Jordan Henderson, who's creating fuck all, and put on arguably your most creative player.
Maybe don't play Jordan Henderson, who's basically playing Cheshire League at the moment.
Yeah, well, yeah, whatever. But even when you do pick that team and you're watching the game, you're saying, okay, so if we've got the ball in their half all the time and they're a low block and we need a little bit of magic, don't think Jordan's going to create that right now. But we got Phil Foden sitting there. Who can?
Who's one of the most technically gifted players I've ever seen. He's frighteningly good. And he's got multiple, like, he can do it with pass and move, he can dribble past you, like...
So, in the low block, obviously, you're going to have to beat a man to make the block move.
Yeah. That's the two ways, isn't it? To beat a low block, there's two ways. You use width, and someone's got to beat someone. Yeah. Someone's got to run at someone. That's how you beat them.
I didn't understand it, but then now you're getting all angry with everyone, with all us
for having
talking.
Valid points.
I don't even think I've bashed Harry Maguire on this show, right? I'm not down with bashing players at all. But I feel like Gareth South, it's so obvious that you're not helping him. Are you putting him in the team? And then you're saying, why are you lot all shouting about it? Because it's obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
He doesn't play.
If the opposition are cheering when he came on, Arsenal cheered when he came on for United the previous week, and United went on to lose that game. He gets cheered coming on against Scotland, and he scores for Scotland.
But I feel for the dude, right? Because it's like, that wouldn't be nice, would it? I've been a player, it's not nice. And don't put him on. You've got some other centre-halves that can play.
That are in great form. So here's the other thing. This is the other thing that Gareth Southgate said, like, he's playing a friendly, right? This is what the Scotland game is. And someone goes, you're going to do an experimentation? Can't do that in a friendly. What? Yeah, you can. What are you on about? Of course you can. That's why they exist.
Do you think it's because it was against Scotland?
Don't tell me England are one of the best teams in the world and they can get to finals and then be worried about Scotland.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but is there a little bit more on it? But there's a bit of because of bragging rights, and maybe Scotland are doing well. So I don't know. I don't understand it. It's confusing me. And then Garrett, and then he's coming out.
We spoke about Colwill before. I think we have, at least anyway. I did a video on Anton about him about a year and a half
ago. I know. You just one you discovered. You said self-proclaimed again.
Yeah.
Okay, Karen.
It's on there. Secret Scout on 5.
Okay.
Check it out. So I've liked Colwill for a while. I think he's a great player. I think he's got a real big future. When someone performs like he did in the Championship, at Huddersfield as well, not exactly a team that performs in the Championship, you notice something in there with him. Then he goes back to Chelsea. He's playing. All right, Chelsea aren't exactly flying, but the guy's playing. And the guy's quality. And he's got pedigree all the way through the underages with England as well. I think he's won stuff with England, actually. And you're like, So here's my options at centre-half. I've got Tomori. What's he just done? Oh, done all right, I think you can safe to say. I've got Colwill. I'm going to pick Maguire. Why? He's not match fit. He's clearly not in the right mental state if this shit's affecting him.
I think he's being stubborn and saying, because it's obvious to not play him, I'm going to. So the fact that we're saying he's got no balls, but then he kind of weirdly has in the wrong way because he's going, I'm going to do what I want, but it's just the wrong thing. And now
kicking off
you're leaving Harry Maguire, you're just hanging him out to dry, and then you're kicking off about it.
The fact that he said, I've never seen a player treated like this, they literally hanged effigies of David Beckham.
Well, I don't understand that one either because it's happened. It doesn't mean it's all right.
He was in the team.
But it doesn't mean it's all right and it doesn't mean it's good. But we've seen it a lot.
Yeah, and we've seen it far worse. And look, I'm not here. Harry Maguire's a United player. I don't think he's first choice for United. I don't even think he's third choice for United. But he's a United player, so I obviously want him to do well. That's not going to stop me being honest about analysing his performances. When he makes a mistake, we're going to talk about it. When there's deficiencies in his game, we're going to talk about it. When I see him not scanning, I'm going to talk about it. I'm not just going to brush over it now because some people are giving him abuse. I don't feel I'm abusive to players, right? Ashley Young may disagree. But I don't think I'm abusive. I think I'm analytical in the performances. And I don't think Harry Maguire's been good enough. And I find it mental that he's getting selected and Calvin Phillips.
Do you think that it's going to go the other way now where people are going to start overcooking the...
Especially now he's had a fucking note off his mum that he can't do PE.
Do you think that they're going to start saying, lay off him and we can't say anything?
People are, yeah. And I think that's ludicrous because you have to still be able to analyse what's going on. There's a statement here off his mum. I'm going to read his mum's statement. He's got a note off his mum. Let's read his note out.
But hang on a second. Before you read it, this isn't... Harry Maguire's probably not asked his mum to do this. This is just a parent.
On one hand, yeah, you're right. People have got their own minds and they do their own things.
I'm pretty sure he didn't go, Mum, can you just do a statement for me?
But you're a player that's had an agent and you've had family around you in your career. If one of your family or your agent has said something that you disagree with, are you going to tell them to get it down or stop doing that?
Yeah, but I ain't going to lie, I think my mum and dad have done an interview in the local paper without me knowing before. But it's just come out. But it's a local paper. It's not like the big one. So I don't know where did it go?
Well, it was a small outlet and a small journalist.
Okay. No one is saying any more about that.
Fabrizio Romano. So it's
went to the top then.
A couple of people have seen it, yeah. And I don't know if he's sent this or if Romano's. Because Romano did an interview the other day, didn't he, where he's got players send me stuff to sort of get it out. Yeah. So I don't know if this has been sent to him or if he's just found it because he is a bit of an aggregator of other people's news as well as the stuff that he breaks himself into. So here's a statement. It says, as a mum, seeing the level of negative and abusive comments which is receiving from some fans, pundits and the media is disgraceful and totally unacceptable in any walk of life. Never mind someone who works his socks off for club and country. I was there in the stands as usual. It's not acceptable what's being created over nothing. I don't agree with the abuse. There's a line between calling out bad play and abuse. And I imagine, I haven't seen it, but I imagine there was stuff that definitely crossed the line, because inside football stadiums it does, doesn't it? And on Twitter for sure. I mean, I don't want to search his name, but I imagine there's some horrendous shit out there, which his family's going to see. And I don't agree with that. He says, I understand in the world of football there are ups and downs, positives and negatives, but Harry Receives has gone far beyond football. For me, seeing him go through what he's gone through is not okay. I'd hate to see the other parents of players go through this in the future, especially young boys and girls breaking through the ranks today. Harry has a massive heart, and it's good he's mentally strong and can handle it as others may not be able to. I wish this sort of abuse on nobody. Now, I would agree on the abuse. And I wonder how much of the abuse was United fans. Because United fans, elements of United, it's certainly not as a whole. There was United fans saw their ass with him not going when he had the opportunity to go, because that prevented us bringing further replacements in. So I know there would have been United fans telling him to get out of the fucking club. In fact, I think I've seen some of that. So I'm not surprised at that, but I know it's there. Again, it's not nice.
But I just think that that should never happen anyway. It's happened to me. I've had shit before, to like extreme levels of like mad shit happen, and it's not nice. So I don't
performance
get it.
based or other stuff.
No, I've had like death threats on my children to a certain club. It was mad because I was at Swansea. Let me just tell you the story.
I know the story, but
should just throw it out there. So at Swansea, and then collided with Coutinho. He broke his shoulder or something, dislocated it. Then it was the year that Gerrard slipped. So then game was like in January. Then at the end of the season, it's a bit mad on Swansea as well. Like, not to throw them in it, but like they give you the mail. You know when they give you mail, like your mail's on the like fan mail. It's normally stickers to sign and send back and stuff like that. We used to get a lot from South Korea.
Was there any weird requests?
Nah, not from me. Nothing weird. No, the weirdest is like, can you sign my arm and I'm going to get a tattoo of it.
You've done that?
Yeah, a few times. I'm like, that's a bit weird. You're going to walk around with that on your arm.
Right, this is going to be a social clip now. If Ash has signed your arm and you've tattooed it, please reply and show us. Thank you.
I don't think there's that many, but there's probably about 5. But they've come back with
more than one.
I've seen it. They've come back with the tattoo. Like
the fact that there's 1 is mental. The fact that there's 5, I want to see.
I'm going for 5. Yeah. So then the Liverpool fans got mad. So I'm opening just the letters, whatever. Normally you sign the things and then you give it back to the whoever, and they post it, or you post it, or whatever. So I'll get some. I had one that was...
You post it like you was down at the post office queue with all your family.
Normal.
Shut up, Ashley.
Don't, because I need to come back to this in a minute anyway. Remember what you just said there, because as if like you wouldn't go to the post office. Of course you go to the post office anyway. And I want to come back to that topic later on in the day when we get a little bit looser. Then I want to bring something up that happened yesterday. But then I want to bring something up that happened yesterday. So then I was getting like letters where they're cutting out the letters,
like the ransom notes.
Yeah, they're cutting out letters from different things and that. Like
arts and crafts,
saying like we're gonna kill you, this, that, other. One of them was so bad. I don't know why I kept it. I still got the letter, but it was just so racist against my kids and what they're gonna do to them.
You told me about this.
And I was like, oh my gosh, seriously. So it's not nice. I can only imagine he's getting shit. So no one's saying that, but it's like I don't understand where Gareth Southgate's coming from, saying why are you all saying something. And also you got to remember, the same way like you get paid to play, now actually, because I have this argument with my dad sometimes, and he says, either I'm saying this or he's saying that, and I'm like, but we do get paid to give an opinion on what we've seen. So you're getting paid good money for your expertise on a situation. So you're going to talk about it. So we're talking about whatever Gareth Southgate's selection or in-game management.
Lack of. On both counts.
He gets paid to do that. People get paid to do that.
He gets paid very well doing that. Is it like $5 million a year? The best paid part-time job in the fucking world.
Spends it on bare waistcoats and bracelets.
And Ready Salty Crisps. I think you can get a subscription on Amazon.
What was his gear? Because I didn't clock his gear.
I don't know, but there was a zip-up polo that was like, you borrowed that, Like,
Was it good? So you meant it? So he
no,
looked.
when I say I borrowed it didn't fit him.
Yeah, I don't understand.
So yeah, I don't agree with abuse, but I do agree with the criticism. I think that's fair. I think you can criticise performance. I mean, we looked at the goal, and the first thing I said was, why is he so deep for the whole way through this thing? And then he's not picking anyone up. He hasn't seen the runner peel off at the back. That's gone for the depth. And I think you said
you can definitely
every single thing you did was wrong.
You can definitely break down that. I think that's fair game. If I was playing and they scored, I know I'm getting analysed. I'll be doing it first anyway. So I'm going to check and look what I've done wrong. And you could. There's always, as I've said, there's in a goal. There's a catalogue of multiple players and multiple mistakes within each player. So that's fine. That's what it is. You just got to take it. It just seems to be gathering. And I'm like, Gareth, give the boy a break, man. If you didn't play him, you're not going to get spoken about.
Yeah.
Like, what did you think? Are you going to play him, score a hat-trick and it changes? It's not going to happen,
no,
is it?
because he's still going to be on the bench this weekend.
Yeah. So I think we got that. You didn't go for 17.
I ain't even started yet, really.
How long we been on? 19. You could have done 17.
Keys have done 17 because there's so much more to it.
I heard you're holding it back a little bit.
I feel probably am a little bit, yeah. Like his entire. I mean, we talked about his selection last week, and it's maddening. Like James Ward-Prowse, Jared Bowen, handful of others. What do I need to do to get in the squad? Yeah, Sterling.
That pissed me off. I'm not the England correspondent, but don't explain that one to me. He must be fuming.
And he said something as well, which he says it's the second most successful England team ever. And I was like, what? You won nothing. Actually, you got them fucking relegated, Gareth. People seem to wash over that when they talk about the finals he didn't win.
What, he said that himself? Is that like on stats or something?
Well, he got to the Euros final and World Cup semi-final.
But I think now looking at the group of English players to pick from and the people that are in the squad, the pressure is on. That is a solid.
It should be
solid. I know it has been for ages. We had the era of Rio, Lamps, Stevie G.
This team isn't as good as that. I think
Michael Owen,
not as good either.
Yeah, but like now, this is legit good. When you look at it, you go, okay, players all over the gaff
that are doing well, winning things, winning Champions League.
So then the pressure's on for them to deliver something, and that's just they've earned that.
My issue with Gareth Southgate is one, he's been there so long at the moment. What game has he won that he wasn't favourite for?
You've said this before.
And what game has he won tactically? What game has he been doing? Plan A.
Who would you like to see in the role if not him, though?
Couldn't give a fuck, to be honest with you.
Because you're not an England fan?
No. I'd like England to do well. It'd be good for football in this country.
For you, does it have to? Should it be an English manager?
I'm on the fence with that because I think Sven did quite well. Capello didn't. I think that was pure personality thing rather than ability thing. But I think Sven.
But is there an argument that if you have to? Here I am. Born in England but played for Wales, but I'm just saying, as we're talking, if it's an English team, should you be at least eligible?
I played for Scotland, you know.
At what? Fucking badminton?
No, rugby under 19s.
There you go.
Against England.
Well, you're not fucking today, are you? Because, come on.
Worst performance I've ever put in it in my life.
Did it what, you threw the game, basically?
I didn't on purpose, but I definitely did. I definitely had the worst performance. I didn't definitely throw it. I tried to play well. So I was annoyed at not being in the England team.
So you're just giving it them?
I was trying to. Oh, shit. I just got...
trying too much?
Yeah, just got...
Harry Maguire?
Murdered. Played well against Wales, though.
Can we talk about our weeks? Can we talk about what's happened to you? This is how I know you was a legit, yeah. This is how I was like, my guy's fucking legit. And I also think you could now... You'd have a bite at Audley Harrison. now I'm starting to think, you might get knocked out. But you're right. You might get knocked out, but it'd be you'd have a go. Can we talk about it?
Dude.
Right. So what day was it? Saturday.
Yeah.
All chilling. Picture comes in the group chat. I kid you not. 2 fingers dangling by a thread, like the fingertips. So everyone's going, oh my God, Steve, fuck off with these pictures. And you just kept sending them, more of them dangling. But you were so chilled, texting. I was like, how are you texting?
Another hand, innit?
How does that work? I'm going, and I'm like, I'm trying to look at it, but I'm at work. I'm going, oh my gosh, the fingertips I think you've lost them. Have you lost them?
I think the middle one has gone. I think the ring one might be okay. The fingernails are gone. Both ends are broke. They were a little bit mangled. We'll see.
You're putting in gifs about it an hour later, about the small hand and all that, and I'm going, wow, he's took this really well because his fingers are gone. What happened?
So I was putting a sign up at the stadium over the tunnel. And there's a wall alongside the gate of the tunnel. I've stood on the wall and I've put one leg on the gate. The gate's got like a ladder up the back of it, so I thought I'll use that. Should have really used the ladder. It's my own fault. And the gate wasn't locked, so the tunnel to the pitch, you can lock it this way or this way. So you can lock it this way and the players can walk in and out of the tunnel. Or you can lock it the other way and it's closed and then fans can walk along the side of the pitch. So it was locked. I thought it was locked to go out of the tunnel, but it wasn't locked, but it was still. So I don't know if the peg at the bottom was maybe dragging a little bit, but it was still. So I put my left leg on the ladder to step up. I put my right leg on the wall and I've grabbed with my right hand like the stanchion at the side of the gate. Now those gates do almost probably a 300-degree sort of thing where they smack around, and it's a big, heavy metal gate. As I've stood on the wall, a brick has gone. I've sort of like knocked a brick off, and then I can't really work out exactly how, but my weight's gone onto the door, it swung the door around, but Janine was kneeling down and doing something in the middle of the tunnel. And I've shouted to her, watch your head, thinking it's just it had absolutely cleaned her out. She'd have been knocked the fuck out. She might have even fractured her skull because it's such a heavy gate and it was going so fast. And as I've sort of told her to watch her head, I'm still holding onto the thing and it's just come around and gone fucking bosh on the fingers.
Mate, that was nasty. Did you not have a panic up? At any point did you go, have a panic? Because I feel like in them situations when you look at it and it's dangling, you must be thinking, oh no.
Oh, I could see the bone immediately.
They've thrown up a gang sign for the rest of your life.
I jumped off the wall and I just went, they're fucked or they're gone or something. Like it was chill, but I said to you, it's adrenaline. That you don't actually feel it. And then I walked around the corner and then I screamed a couple of times. And then I went and grabbed a tea towel out of the kitchen at the stadium and just said, just fucking take me to the hospital. And then as I was driving to the hospital, then it started hurting. Then it proper started hurting. I got to the hospital, they gave me an aspirin. Cheers, lads. And then just let me sit and bleed all over reception for fucking ages. And then they got me in. You what?
Withington. Wivenshaw, sorry.
Tameside I went to. Oh. So I went to Tameside. They give me a couple of aspirin. Then they give me this pen thing. Hey,
that's when you started messaging again, weren't it? You was happy as shit then.
That pen was fucking banging.
You come back later on in the day in the group chat, happy, and then it was like, okay, it's kicked in.
So they give me the pen thing. Then they came and give me morphine. The morphine was real bad, man. That was happy days. And then they give me another. I had 3 lots. They injected my hand with something as well to sort of sort it out. And then they sent me to Wivenshaw, to the plastic surgery guys at Wivenshaw, because they thought they might want to do something with it. So I go to Wivenshaw, fucking hell, the morphine had wore off then. And the guy was like cleaning it and sort of...
That was the worst part.
Steri-stripping the top over it. That was fucking bad, that. But in the process of doing that, like, Paddock are playing. Like, obviously I've missed the game. I've been trying to get tech scores all the way through. It's early on in the second half. I think it's like 4-0. I put my phone down. I'm leaning over a sink, bleeding all over this doctor. And he's trying to put my fingers together and I'm tapping out because it's fucking murdering at this point now. And then I pick my phone up and it's 8-0.
You thought it was the morphine?
No, I'm like, I've missed a fucking right game here, haven't I?
Well, that kind of suggests maybe to stay away.
I don't think so.
Why not?
I just think it was the opposition.
When you're there, 2-2, you're not there, 10-0 win.
Yes, obviously. So Ronaldo's missed a penalty.
Yeah, I know. I heard about it.
And then he scores the 10th. in about 3rd minute of injury time.
That's that was nasty. That. What did I want to get back to? Oh, that's what I'm saying. Yesterday I went to the shop. Yeah, I went to just Waitrose, I think it was, and the guy goes, I got out of the car and he goes, "Oh, you're not on the TV."
What? In Waitrose?
No, I'm not. I'm walking across the road, and he went, "Food shopping," and I went, "Yeah, same as you." And he went, "That's weird." And I went, "What's weird?" And he went, "No, I just didn't expect you to be food shopping." So I went, "Well, we all have to do it at some point."
What's the weirdest encounter you've had with someone like that?
That's one of the ones but they're the ones that you get. I'm like, "What do you think? I've got a butler."
Yeah.
We're doing the same thing, mate. We got to eat, feed our families, and we're in the shop. And do you think I live in your flat screen?
On the telly?
He thought I lived there. No, not on the TV. No, don't stay there.
Do you know the one thing about the Match of the Day studio and the other shows on BBC Sport, BBC Football, that send me west, is that room is an enormous green room in it. Yeah. Whereas on a telly, it's like a really futuristic looking kind of set that's all blue and red and silver and stuff like
it's mad. It's just,
that's
completely green. It's big as well. That's a big studio. And it's just completely green. And then when you look, so the first few times I was like, we're all green. Didn't really lots to think about, not what
but you get a live view of what it looks like.
So lots to think about.
Final finish, like.
Well, it's live, yeah. What you see at home, we can also see on our screen. So green. And then I looked at it and I was like,
"Oh, fuck it, that's a big telly."
There was something behind under the graphic. Well, and I was like, geez. It was like a big picture of I don't know, someone. I was like, where's he come from? I mean, you get used to just being in a green room for hours. It's weird though, because when you do live games and stuff, they can be tiny. What's always weird is the cameras are looking at maybe a window or whatever, or something nice. And what you're looking at is like right behind the camera, like packed in about 8 people in a small thing, just all staring at you and just scaffolding and shit. And I'm like, wow, the view is so opposite, polar opposites either side.
Where you watch the games is like a lounge zone with sofas and stuff.
No.
When you're doing Match of the Day.
Oh, yeah. That's just like the room. There's some sofas in there.
Yeah,
there's
that's
all the screens.
You get to have a conversation with producers. You're making notes.
Yeah, that's where you make the show.
When you're doing the live ones, that's where it's.
That's where you're in the big green room. So Match of the Day is like you chill out all day, chatting about whatever, and then go time, get ready, and then go into this.
On this weekend?
No, but I'm doing Swansea Cardiff
nice.
from I think London.
When's that?
Studio Saturday evening. So both teams not had a great start. Cardiff a little bit better. Swansea really struggling. So
is that the derby? Is that the big one? Do you think Wrexham can get in the mix of that?
No.
A few years' time? No, not think so. They're gonna, aren't they though?
It won't. Swansea. I've said it on here. I think England, Wales played that. Liverpool, Everton played that. They try and put Bristol in the mix with Cardiff and that, but the Swansea Cardiff's the best one I've played in.
Atmosphere-wise.
Yeah.
I don't know if we spoke about this or if it might be me and Ronaldo that spoke about this, but unfortunately, atmospheres are the best when it's a little bit tasty outside.
No, I wouldn't know that because I'm normally inside.
You must hear that it goes off with Swansea.
No, the Swansea Cardiff one's nuts because we'd get there. I remember my first ever one.
Isn't it one of those classes a bubble match as well?
Yeah, because it's weird, because it's like basically one road, if you don't know, from Swansea to Cardiff, the M4. There is other ways, but it's one M4. So one team has to go up or down. So basically you have to go on coaches, then it's a bubble coach in from Swansea to Cardiff. But I remember that my first ever one, it might have been a cup game, and we won 1-0 at home. But then we was hearing, it's gone off in Neath, which is near halfway but kind of towards Swansea. Then now it's gone off in Bridgend. Throughout the day they're just meeting. I'm like, wow, this is Real Green Street shit. Do you know what I mean?
Frodo.
Yeah, but then the game. I think the games. I honestly think that game's an anticlimax. The game is an anticlimax for the fans. Do you know what I mean?
Because the build.
I think it's can't. I'm not sure because I don't live there anymore. But I think it's chilled a bit in terms of that whole fighting. element, but it's still a massive game down. It's the only game down there. Like, I'm pretty sure both teams don't really care as long as they win that. So I think Swansea did the double over them last year, which hadn't happened for years. But I think Cardiff are in a bit of better form. And it happens to be the one I'm working on.
Happy days. Did you ever go as an away fan when you weren't playing, ever? With any of the teams that you supported?
No. Like, so you mean like, so if I played for Swansea and went in the away end?
Yeah.
Nah, never, but I've seen players do it. It looks like it goes off. I wouldn't mind doing it, but it's, I don't know, it's a risky one, isn't it? Like,
well, who would you, like, is Swansea and Stockport the ones that you would probably more likely?
Yeah, because if I go in the away end at Everton, they're going to start fighting me, probably. So that's not going to work out very well,
I'm
is
not really
it?
going to be any help to you there.
I don't think that's going to work out.
Because I could be wrong, but I don't think Swansea fans have got any fucking opinion of me whatsoever, so I'd be alright.
Swansea are sound, man. Swansea are good. They'd go back to there and it'd be sweet.
Stockport would be alright.
Stockport, yeah, but I like to just go up in the nice seats and get some food and that at half time, so I don't get in the mix.
I know Ashley Young did it quite a bit. Carrick, Rojo was mad for it. I mean, of course he was, but he also didn't play very much.
Yeah, but there's two things. A question I want to ask: do you go in? I'm just guessing this. Tell me if I'm wrong. Carrick, you said Carrick. He's going to go in and just go and watch the game. Someone else, maybe Rojo or whatever, are going to go in and make sure everyone knows I'm in the away end.
Not necessarily, no.
No? Okay, that's cool.
When I've seen Ashley Young in there, he's had his hood up. And
so he just wants to take it in. He just wants to get fit.
I got a lot of respect for that.
Yeah, me too.
Carrick, I don't think he had a hood on Carrick. Scholes has done it. Scholes done it a lot more since he's retired as well. He gets mithered though. But normally there's like quite a bit of common sense sort of prevails. Like, is he watching the match? Leave him alone. And because it's quite a more hardcore element of the support, they tend to like.
Well, in general, isn't it? Though?
Come over and
do you not think? I think I don't know if we spoke about this, but in my opinion, has always been the away fans are the fans. They're the fans. They're the ones, and they're always sound most of the time.
Yeah.
Or they'll give you shit if they've paid their money and travelled and you've been dog shit. But they're the fans that are the fans of the club. I always felt the ones that come to home games, can be a bit of a day out.
A little bit of potluck sometimes with it. And I think the other thing with aways that United have tried to fix with the TRA, and I think that clubs could do a lot more with this if they get safe standard implemented properly, is sort of unallocated. Yes, you go in the away end, you've got, you might be on row M and I'm on row A. We're either going to stand where your ticket is or my ticket is. We're not going to separate. So with away fans, what you'll get groups of 5-6 lads together, and then they're going to be a little bit more boisterous because they're with their mates rather than standing on their own or whatever because of the random allocation that the tickets have got. So I think that helps the atmosphere. I think a couple of hours on the booze doesn't hurt the atmosphere either on the way to wherever you're going, Villa Park or... I always used to get Sunderland every fucking time when you apply for the aways.
Tell me how it works. I don't understand what you do. You just put a rant in, it just generates out a game for you?
At United, it's very difficult. So there's a few different pots that you can go in. You got your regular season ticket holder pot, which after you've had your season ticket a number of years, you're allowed to apply for aways. You get in 2 out of 19 in the league. European aways, you can buy packages and stuff so you can kind of get them. Aways in the cups, forget about it. They've already been fucking boxed off by people and touts and stuff. So you're not really going to get them. Wembley, if you've done all of the home cup games, you got 80-90% chance of bagging for a Wembley one. I've got all the cup finals recently that we've been to.
I didn't realise it was that. I never thought about it.
Well,
but not now for you, surely, man.
Yeah, still.
Will you speak to the big dog? Can you not speak to the big dog?
Rio.
I don't understand.
I wouldn't want to do it. I'd rather do it.
Shit, Rio, man. He doesn't want to ask, but he needs tickets and shit.
Away games are a nightmare for me to get to anyway with a family, so I don't do many. If I get them, I'll go, but I don't.
Plastic.
Then you have the execs. The execs go in a different pot, so people that have got the boxes and stuff like that, they get to apply. Is
that the ones that Keno had a mad rant at one time?
Yeah, so he's got the wheels greased a little bit there. The execs normally get them. My old job used to have execs, so I used to apply for the aways on the execs.
What, give them the execs in the military and that?
No, not that job, you melon. And then you have everyone else.
What job was it? What did you do?
I was a quantity surveyor in scaffolding.
A what, sorry?
A quantity surveyor.
Okay.
And that was the one perk I had, was that they had execs. I never got to go to any of the home games in our suite, but I used to get to apply for the aways. So I used to apply for the aways.
Probably more fun, anyway.
Yeah. So that's how you get it. Now, when you apply for the season ticket, people pull out none out of 19 on a yearly basis all the time. Like, I never got a London one, legit.
Tickets.
Sunderland, every time. Never get a London one. Always seem to get Sunderland.
Do you reckon there's someone going, Ste Housen? Should we put him a London one?
It might be
nah.
now. I don't know.
Nah.
Not then.
But you're saying it like that, though. You're saying it like as if, like...
No, I'm saying it because United do have a big London fan base. So I think they get swallowed up. I think there's more apply for that than Sunderland, maybe. I used to do all right with the Derby and Anfield, though. I'd probably get 50% of those. So they was all right.
Where are we going next? We're going Q's, or are we going anonymous? Not anonymous, sorry. Bizarre.
Well, we'll wrap this up. So, ways, I think if I was in charge at United or any football club that
which you're never going to
Premier League, it's probably not going to happen.
Chelsea only.
Yeah, unless Chelsea ring up.
Go on. I've seen something that might interest you. Carry on. Keep spinning it.
I think I would want my players to go in with the away fans. Because I think there's too much of a disconnect between the fans and the players.
No despair, such a mad fan mentality. You'd want the current players.
1,000,000%.
To go in away games.
Right, so who's not playing at the minute? We got anyone suspended? Anyone suspended? Injuries are different because they're probably going to...
That's mad. So, let's say Scott McTominay doesn't make the squad. So he's going to travel and go in the away fans.
Yep.
Mad shout.
Why?
Don't know, but how much are you shitting yourself about playing Brighton this weekend?
Yeah, a bit.
Little bit. I can feel it.
About as much as I'm shitting about playing Bayern Munich not long afterwards.
Yeah, you should be. I think, listen,
fucking right,
you should be, yeah.
Have you seen us? I'm hoping...
International break come at the right time.
Maybe. So there's a few things at play here.
Few of your internationals don't play for you on the weekend.
So the number of things going on. One, can Amrabat come in and make a tangible difference?
Is he available for selection this weekend?
Rumoured to be. Same with Højlund. If those two are available for selection, that's two positions we've not really been playing. Can that make such a big difference? It's a hell of a game to try it out against, but if it does, then shit, that's a Brucey bonus. The third thing at play, and I definitely want your opinion on this one, Jadon Sancho, worst timing ever. If it had waited 24 hours, all this Anthony shit would have blown up, and he could have just sit there and been like, I'll be your right winger, boss. Instead, he has to go and stick one on the manager, publicly, pin it to his Twitter, which he's now deleted. So does that tell me that they've had a conversation where they decided the manager was right?
You're asking me. I don't know. I don't know. I was in the era of going to speak to the manager to his face in the office.
If the manager's not playing yet and you've got a drama with it, surely the options that you've got are be undeniable in training.
Yeah.
And the rest of the players will do the coaxing for you. Surely.
Well, that's number one. Used to be. It's apparently not anymore, but it'll just be better. So at least you know if he's not playing me, now it's personal and he's never going to play me. Yeah. But maybe I've left it open, but at the early part of my career at Stockport, but like maybe I've left myself open to be dropped.
Well, if you turn up late for training and not digging it out.
Let's be honest, yeah. So maybe he's right. You got to look at that. And then, okay, so I'm going to put it in, I'm going to make it so I train well every single day, and if I get 12 minutes, I'm going to be good for 12. If I get 45, I'm going to be good. And then majority of the time, you're going to play. If I'm still not, well, then he's a bell. He doesn't like me. I'm never going to play for him. Yeah. But at least now I know
that's where what add up to me. So you've had this thing. The manager's said you ain't trained hard enough publicly in an interview at the end of a game. Surely, what do you do next? For the next week, what are you doing?
Well, no, first straight away, I'm going to... Unless they'd had that conversation privately, you shouldn't be saying it publicly, I don't believe.
The gaffer?
Yeah. Why go there? Tell the kid or the guy.
Maybe he has been told.
Yeah, maybe. So if he has, whatever. This is a matter of an opinion. But then, I'm going to go nuts in training.
Rocky tunes on.
I'm going nuts in training. I know he's not that type of player, but... So if I was him, the equivalent would be... I'm taking the piss out of the defenders in training to the point where they're trying to kick the shit out of me because he's got the ability to do that. So I'm all right, cool, and I'm going to ruin the session. I'm going to ruin his session if that's how you want to play it, but in the right way. Not going to wreck it, but like if I've got Jadon Sancho's ability and feet, every time you try and like, I don't know, play like the team. So you know when you play like the first team against Brighton, I'm going to take the piss. So if you're saying I ain't training properly, watch this then. Yeah. And I just keep ruining it. Every time you try and play out, or every time you try and stop
press
this,
or
whatever, you try and press, I'm going to beat the press. Because he can do that if he gets his head on. That's what I would have done. Or at least tried.
Yeah. Or would you be?
No.
Go to New York with Wan-Bissaka and get pictured at parties?
No, but I think that's irrelevant. Everyone jumping up. No, it's irrelevant because what? He's not in the international setup. Mm-hmm. Is he required to be at Carrington?
No.
So he can do what the fuck he wants?
Yes.
Why have they got an opinion on what he does?
I would normally agree with you. And I think if they've been given the time off, take the time off because you don't get a lot of time off. And I actually think this United squad, I saw Dino actually, the one person on TalkSport who says anything worth listening to.
Dean Saunders.
Yeah. He said, I've looked at the pre-season. This is nuts. They're going to have injuries. What's happened? We've got a lot of injuries. Dino was right. So on one hand, I go, no, they need the break and they need this and the other. But when the managers come out and said, you don't train hard enough, I think this weekend, you almost go full-blown PR, sweatbands on.
Well, this is half the problem. Why you got to do anything? Go New York and just go and enjoy yourself. No one needs to know. Go and do extra training and just do the extra training. This is what one thing does my nutting. Like, I'm going to do extra training, but I'm going to let everyone know I'm going to edit a cool video. And with a drone. You're going to get a drone to show me working out in Dubai. Just get your work in, man. I don't know. Do people fall for it and go, geez, he's working hard?
I think that...
but everyone's working. It doesn't matter.
It sorts out the narrative online, doesn't it?
But why are we worrying about the narrative online? Just play footy and play good. Matters. Play good.
No, that matters.
Play good and end. And everyone can think you're an arsehole, but etc. Play good, train hard, done.
He might have had a conversation with... Me and Wan-Bissaka are going to go on a smash in New York and he might have gone, see you Monday. That might have been the case.
Yeah, I just...
From a guy that's out here moaning about how he's not getting the opportunities, I think you can really stack the deck in your favour if he hadn't put a statement out. If the statement had been out of, was there, maybe I haven't worked as hard as I should have done in training, watch this space.
Do you know what I want the statement to come out? Someone and go, my statement is I ain't putting one out, watch this.
Yeah.
You want a statement? I'm not putting one out, but watch what I'll go and do now.
Yeah.
I'm sick of the statements and the go New York.
Try being a United fan. We've had a statement every day.
But just you lot are drama right now. Go to New York and enjoy yourself. Cool. Just do that. We don't need to know. I'm gonna start doing it. Me. I'm gonna go Waitrose. Go and Waitrose. Cool. Just do it. I don't get it. I don't know.
Are you going to make a statement about going Waitrose?
No. Not making a statement about nothing. Just stop with the statements. Fucking hell, we got a statement about a statement now.
Oh, United love a statement about a statement. Our statement is we got no statement to make.
I mean, geez, I'm sure you've spoken about it, but you lot are real, don't know, it's a saga, isn't it?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Ultimately, it all boils down to the owners. You run it like a fucking absolute shit show the way they do. And then...
No, we ain't going back there again. Okay. We're sick of that. So we're as sick as that as we're as sick as that little ponytail. You had
another idea for taking it off road?
I don't know. You had some questions.
I did have some questions. So I sent you the other day. Didn't reply. Thanks.
You didn't send me shit.
I did. About the Mexican aliens.
Oh, that, yeah. Oh, I don't know. I didn't have the time or something. I did look it up, though. You want to go there?
Yeah, so I've obviously watched some videos.
You'd like to go there?
Yeah. Now, for those who aren't aware, I don't know if we can call him a fraudster. Let's just call him a fella. So there's a fella from Mexico who's presented something. I don't know the circumstances of why he's presenting this to the Mexican government, but he's presented some little doll-sized aliens that he found that look like they're 1,000 years old. Now, a video I watched last night, someone's like done an MRI on these things.
Yeah,
and the MRI that they've done on them, there's some really mad, interesting characteristics of these.
Well, isn't there some stuff in there that shouldn't be there in the corpse?
Possibly.
We call it that.
What are you thinking?
Oh, I don't know. I tried to read up about it. I didn't just pie you. I pied you at the time, but then I did some work on it.
So they've looked at the makeup of the skull is very similar to the makeup of a bird's skull in terms of like the density of it and the shape of it and the air passages. It all makes sense. So if it's a hoax, someone's done a pretty fucking good job of it. It's also got the circular rib cage. So it's not the same as a human rib cage. It's a circular rib cage, which is the same as the way a bird's is. Then it's got some mad weird thing up on the collarbones, which I didn't know what that was. And it's got eggs inside it. So it could
It's got what, eggs?
It looks like it's got 3 eggs inside it, yeah. So it could be some sort of it could be a bird. But it's also got, I mean, the makeup of the face. I mean, maybe does it look like a face if you took a...
My only concern with this is because there's so much UFO talk at the minute, we're going to have more hoaxes as well.
1,000,000%.
Some people have got the paper mache and are making some shit.
1,000,000%.
But
and that's what I said. This guy apparently has tried to blag some stuff in the past.
Before.
So it could be a blag. And I'm only watching fucking TikTok videos of it and shit. So like hardly peer-reviewed bullshit.
I don't know. But didn't they have that Mexico had a hearing? An under oath hearing, and was that involved in that?
Yeah, people never lied under oath, obviously, famously.
Yeah, yeah. But as I'm saying, like, so I don't know. I just think, I don't know. We're at the point now where it's a little bit undeniable. Something is going on.
There's some fuckery afoot, Ash.
Exactly that. Exactly that. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But if you come to me now and say, "Oh, there ain't nothing going on," you deserve a slapping.
So, right, there's someone tweeted me, a lady called Freya tweeted me, and she asked me to search some stuff. So I'd asked for questions yesterday.
Is it UFO based? The fan base, the people that watch our show are mad on UFOs,
Yeah.
you know.
Loads of people asking about the alien bodies.
I feel like I'm like the UK correspondent. Me and Nick Pope on aliens all of a sudden.
Nick Pope, is he into aliens?
Nick Pope, the old Secretary of Defence or whatever he is.
Oh, right.
Do you know him? Not the fucking goalie.
That's what I thought you meant.
No, is it Nick? Someone Pope.
Navin says, does anyone know what happened with City's charges? It's taken a long old time, innit?
Yeah, I forgot about it.
Miles says, I'd love you two to go full tilt into conspiracies. Phantom Time, John Tito, the Dolce Base, Hollow Moon, Operation High Jump. There's so much to waffle on about. I don't know any of them. What was Operation High Jump? I've heard of that one, I think.
Operation High Jump is the Antarctica situation. You know about that?
I've heard about this, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I've been looking up expeditions and stuff because I might go and get some mad shit done in the cold. And you can get expeditions to the South Pole. So, I don't know if they do that if you couldn't go there. Because that's the thing with Antarctica. You can say anything. It's like, it's so far away. And do you know anyone who's been to Antarctica? It's really hard to get someone who's been in it. So therefore, you can just make up a lot of lies about it.
Yeah, but the geezer went, didn't he, Admiral Byrd, and then said, don't ever go back there.
What people do.
Operation High Jump, do you want me to break that one down? Because I do know that one. Do you know that one?
I do know that one, yeah.
So we just move on. What's the other one, the time thing?
Phantom Time? Did you Google that for us, Dead Jan?
Was he doing his assignment for college or something? Phantom Time, what was the other ones? There is loads of shit.
John Tito, the Dolce Base.
Fuck, man, this geezer, why don't you come and tell us about it?
James says, any new players Ash has discovered being the eye for talent that he is?
Oh, who have I found? Haaland and Hoyland.
Yeah.
Any others? No, I think them two. Not yet, but I'll let you know if I find one.
Okay.
And they're as valid as your one, so I don't give a shit.
Right, okay. Luke Veazey says, willies for fingers or a finger for a willy?
You should answer that, because there's a couple of willies right over there now. Do you remember? Some chubby boys over there.
Alien corpses, Mexican aliens.
Jeez, man.
Do you think players are affected by... This is going back to the
Canadians.
first point. Do you think players are affected by comments made by pundits or on social media?
Not really. Not really. I weren't that bothered. I know some of them shoot back sometimes at them. If it's... Nah, it's different now because everyone's got a platform to speak. So someone will say something, I might say something, someone might clap back on their Twitter or X or whatever it is, or I don't know, whatever. But who really gives a shit? It's an opinion. It's just one person's opinion, and you got a stadium full of them.
Josh says, what would you do for 350 grand a week?
Oh, play footy, some other stuff, fishing, whatever. Yeah, I'll do a bit. I won't do too much. I won't put myself out there too much.
I'll do anything PG.
Yeah.
Am I digging all? I'll dig a fucking hole.
I think he needs to throw some stuff. Yeah, because it's a lot. What would I do? Loads of shit.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Loads. Wallpaper my house.
Yeah. Matt, I don't understand. Like, where are we going with that?
Have a bath full of beans. Where do you want to go?
Go Waitrose once a week, whatever.
Stand in a queue at the post office. Do all of that.
Loads of mad shit. That was how you
I'd
brought...
get a season ticket for City for 350 grand a week.
That's a mad shout. Like you wouldn't anyway. Like they don't play better football than you anyway, but whatever. They play West Ham this week, I think.
David Moyes masterclass.
Do you think? No, that's what I'm saying. He can't do it again.
No, I don't think.
If they do that, I have to take my hat off to Moyes.
City and moonwalk in this league while texting.
But if they can put that back 9 in there for 90, it's going to be one of the best shittest games ever to watch. Do you know what I mean?
It's not the main game, is it?
Is it the late one? Is it the 5:30?
Everton Arsenal on Sunday. Thoughts on how that's going to go? Everton being shit.
Arsenal,
that could be an absolute shagging. Bournemouth Chelsea. Nobody cares.
It's 3 o'clock.
Liverpool Wolves.
You're going through questions. You got distracted. You're like that kid in school that gets distracted by everything in the classroom.
It's because you was answering.
Focus.
I was reading stuff. So I'd get a bath of beans for $3.50 a week. John Ryan says, Bigfoot, bloke in a suit, or a giant ape, or a fat middle-aged man fond of Mary Jane seeing things.
A lot of options. Bigfoot, I'm not having it. It's not one that I'll go for, to be honest.
The footage that's out there is a bloke in a monkey suit.
That's what I mean.
1,000,000%.
I'm not going for that one.
They think they know what it could have been, though, don't they? They think it could have been.
What was it, a species?
Yeah, Gigantopithecus, I think it's called. The abominable snowman and the thingy. Same thing.
Giants. Now, giants are a better topic to talk about.
Why?
Because I just think...
You see some Photoshop stuff?
There's big bones getting dug up. There's fucking massive structures built around the world that there's no explanation of how.
Name 3.
Old Trafford.
Right.
Obviously the pyramids is the fucking obvious one. There's 3 in itself.
What do you mean? What's the pyramids got to do with giants?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, how the fuck did these things get built? So then if you link it to were there giants, maybe. I'm just talking. I'm not saying there is.
JFK.
It fucking wouldn't surprise me. But no, I don't think they did.
Is the Twix a biscuit or a chocolate?
Chocolate.
I agree.
Please. Who calls it a biscuit? Anyone?
Imagine sticking your hand in a cookie jar and pulling out a Twix.
A biscuit?
A raw, uncovered, naked Twix.
It's a silly question. I don't know what.
That's how you know, innit? Because if it had found
I can see a Twix. Has he put like a gif of a Twix?
Yeah, sure.
It's never been, go and get a biscuit.
And then you come back and go, someone's put the fucking Twix in your biscuit jar.
It's coated in chocolate.
Yeah.
It's fucking elite as well.
Good Twix, aren't they?
Yeah, solid.
I like them when they've been in the fridge a little bit.
No. Let's get onto that.
What?
Are you a chocolate in the fridge man?
Yeah. I like stuff cold.
Why?
Don't give me room temperature anything. Get out.
No. Don't put chocolate. No, it ruins it.
No, it'll melt. I got my teeth work.
No.
What are you worried about a teeth for?
What? It's all cold and not hard.
Yeah.
I like it when it's just room temperature.
No, you touch it and you go,
No,
over the
I
gaff.
don't want it melted.
Yeah,
I don't
there
want
you
it
go. That's what happens
melted.
at room temperature.
I'm not holding it that long though. Like it's not
On a
melted.
fucking mullet.
Go.
Nah, it needs to be cold. No, it needs to be cold, man.
Oh, you can't be a fucking a fridge chocolate guy, man.
I am. Hang on, let me find some more.
That's not aliens.
Someone's put about changing the offside rule. Boring.
So what? Back in favour of the
Good
defenders?
old who'd winning a fight.
Out of who?
Just as who'd winning a fight.
Well, we don't know who's entering it.
Graham Souness is hilarious, isn't he? Because he doesn't even pretend that he's neutral. He's just like, how can I paste United at every opportunity?
I don't really particularly listen to him, to be honest. But I don't know what he's been saying.
Scott McTominay be United's
I'll switch
player.
off.
He should always be playing. Stuff
Whatever.
like that. Scott, have you seen Dimitri Mitchell on social media?
Never heard of him.
So he's a United Academy player, plays for Exeter now, and he's found the login for his Twitter and is just fucking giving his opinion on stuff. And it's refreshing.
And he currently plays? Mm-hmm. Opinions on what sort of thing? Football-related topics?
It was about fucking the home nations, everything the other day. Like, should Scotland teams join in England? He played for Hearts in Scotland on loan. Scored do you know what's good as well? Is he got a bit of a pasting last week just from people being like,
don't talk. You shouldn't no opinion.
Scored a fucking rocket at weekend and then just got straight back in the mix again. I
don't know what he's saying, so I don't want to say good on him, but if he's just talking, it's not offensive, then great.
Yeah, I don't think he's being offensive, but he's out here just asking people's opinions.
Do you think them two teams should come down from Scotland and join League Two? Hey, the Scottish people kicking off. Do you think they should join the Premier League?
Not coming anywhere near the Premier League. They are not Premier League level. They might be Championship
Celtic
level.
versus...
And don't tell me that they played Barcelona in the Champions
Celtic
League.
versus Luton.
What?
Celtic v Luton.
You're going to get pasted.
By Luton? Mm-hmm. Wow.
You played in the Championship. You know how hard...
I've never played in Scotland. I don't know much about them teams, though. I can't talk for
Scott
that.
Sinclair comes and goes from League One to being like an all-time fucking great in Scotland. That tells you that league ain't fucking Championship level.
You don't think it's even Championship level?
The league?
No, sorry, yeah, but those two teams.
Those two teams would be bottom half Championship. After a few years, getting used to it, the pull of them would probably kick in and they might do well.
I'm glad you're ending the show bold.
Let us know what we should Google. Give us your questions. Let us know how bad Rangers and Celtic get pasted. Look, I don't give a fuck that they play in Europe. So what? They're basically having the weekend
I feel like
off.
you're kicking off. You're kicking off at them, and they haven't even said anything.
They will. It's preemptive strike. So yeah, before you come with all that bullshit, shut up. No, they wouldn't, and yes, they would. So nice one. See you next week.